Emily Sparks. This is Cadet Louise Pierce, and this is Cadet Nick Rossman. And for our Space Astronomy Quarter 1 project, we chose the topic of Titan, Saturn's moon. Have you ever wondered why all sorts of planets have different moons, multiple moons, and then Earth just has the one? Saturn in specific has a total of 53 moons, a whopping total of 53, and of these 53, Titan is most interesting. And here's why.
Alright, here's the basics about Titan, guys. Titan orbits at an average distance of 1.4 billion kilometers, which is, for like America, 886 million miles, or 9.5 times further away from the sun than Earth is. If the sun was scaled down to like the average size of a door, the Earth compared to it would be about the size of a nickel, and Titan would be the size of a pea. Titan is 1.5 times larger than the Moon, however it has a slightly lower surface gravity, and it is 5 times as reflective as the Moon. Here's a comparison chart so you can kind of get an idea of it. Titan's atmosphere is strikingly similar to early Earth's atmosphere, is that it contains almost 98% nitrogen with trace elements of hydrogen and carbon. Despite having a lower surface gravity than Earth's, Titan's atmosphere is almost 2 times denser than Earth's atmosphere is. The geology of Titan. Titan has a thick core of rock and a mantle of ice, which is very common among moons in the outer solar system. Titan has a series of small lakes composed of liquid methane, ethane, and of liquid methane and ethane. So the largest of the lake is Kraken Mare. It's about 400,000 kilometers squared, but is only about 9 feet deep at the deepest. How do we learn about it? The Cassini-Huygens probe is the only probe that has ever visited Titan, but there are more planned to visit it in the future. From that probe, we learned of atmospheric densities, surface compositions, and the composition of the atmosphere. Other than the probe, telescopes have been scanning Titan's surface for the last few decades, learning about just mapping the surface and letting us know more about it.
Like Nick said, some of the past missions to Titan have consisted of the Cassini mission probe. And basically what we did is we sent in this probe, and it gave us a better understanding of the composition of Titan and its lakes and just the layout of it itself. And this was a 7-year mission, and it ended in 2004 and started in 1997. Current missions that we have on Titan right now. We have one, and it's this Titan Saturn system mission. And the goal of this mission is to actually drop in on a lander to collect samples of the liquid lakes that we have found from the Cassini mission. And then we're going to they're taking the samples that they take, and they're going to figure out the organic compounds and see how similar we are to Earth. This is just the instruments that they're using for the missions that they have right now. And it basically consists of an orbiter, and it basically orbits around that mission and collects the data. And this balloon, and it will float into the Titan's atmosphere, and it will drop a lander. And the lander will drop on one of the northern lakes of Titan, and it will then collect the water samples that we can test. And then here I put a diagram of the actual mission. You can see the orbiter up here on the top left, and the balloon in the middle center, and the lander in the bottom. And scientists are hoping to see just how similar Titan is to Earth. Some future missions. We have a future mission that's actually in the process, and the goal of this mission is to see what can withstand on Titan, what Earth objects. So things such as packing materials and cargo nanotube-based packaging, we're just going to take it up there and see how it is affected by its atmosphere.
Okay, so what we don't know and what we are learning. I'm going to start with what we don't know, and then I'm going to answer the questions. So how big is Titan? So Titan's surface area is 8.3 times 10 to the 7th power kilometers squared. Okay, so how similar is Titan to Earth? Okay, Titan has dunes. It's made of 13% dunes is what its land is. It has oceans, it has lakes, although they're made of methane and not water. It has volcanoes, it has mountain chains, and it also has few impact craters, which I'll touch on more later. But basically, that shows that it has a very strong atmosphere and can withstand from Earth's crazy objects flying into it. Its orbital period is about 15.9 days long, and that's to make a full lap around Saturn. Who discovered Titan and when did they discover it? So a Dutch astronomer by the name of Christian Huygens discovered Titan in 1655. And then Titan is about minus 290 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's extremely cold. Okay, so here's just a picture of Titan, what it looks like. You can see the brown spots and mountains, and it's pretty much a blue planet. Okay, so mysteries of Titan. So one of the mysteries is Magic Island, and one day scientists were observing the planet with the Hubble Space Telescope, and they saw that an object had moved on the planet. Okay, what scientists think it is just an iceberg that had broke off one of the shorelines. So, but we'll never really know. Another interesting mystery is whether Titan can sustain life. Right now, no, it can't because of how cold it is. The human body can't stand being that cold. Possibly in the future, it is definitely a possibility. It has seas. Their seas, they say, are as salty as the Dead Sea of Israel and Jordan, which is definitely a plus to living there. That also suggests that the crust is becoming rigid, which then helps the atmosphere. Another mystery is alien landscapes. Because the landscape is mainly dunes, also known as the dune world, it is 13%, like I said. The wind also blows sand, and it's sand a lot like Earth sand. It's composed of tiny grains of hydrocarbons, and okay, so then is Titan's moon younger than the atmosphere itself? The atmosphere of Titan is 1.6 billion years younger than Titan itself. And there wasn't a whole bunch of information on that, just that's what it said.
Alright guys, so activity. What's going to happen is you're going to get mission packets, these things, and your goal is to create a rover that will be sent to Titan using these mission packets and your own creativity. So I'll just go ahead and hand these out, and you can continue while that's going on, and I'll get back to you.
So when you're going through these and looking at what you have to choose from, make sure you keep in mind the environment that Titan is made up of.
It's like one group, it's like one group of ships.
Teachers, please excuse this interruption. At this time, if you would dismiss your seniors and send them down.
Please don't leave
All juniors, I need you to stand up, come over here please real quick while he's doing this. I need juniors to come here please. Use out one. Juniors, come here please. Juniors, every junior come here. Junior, okay, junior sit down please. Every senior come here please.
Colonel, what if we already got one of these and we already
Throw it away.
Can we go then?
Seniors. Okay, seniors may leave except for Nick Rossman.
Thank you.
Rossman, can I get a sheet, an activity sheet?
We had one for Nathan's gym.
He needs a sheet.
Oh, you need to share? Okay. I thought it was like one room to share. Do you have one sheet per group? Yes, sir. All right, one sheet per group. You have 10 groups?
Keys took our sheet.
That was very smart of him.
Your friend
Just
can
use
share.
somebody else. Go join with another group.
Read that
Sure.
yourself. Go ahead. Explain.
Okay. So, if I can borrow one of these sheets again. Just gonna borrow this. Okay. So, as you can see, you have this packet. It's your mission packet. So you have your objective, and that's your goal. You have an equipment list and a total budget at the top. So what you want to try and do is you want to try and create a rover with the most useful experiments and like the best kind of like stuff on it for the least amount of money. Okay, so with that, you're just going to take your like packet, and then afterwards you're gonna, after you finish building your rover, you're gonna put the science experiments on, which cost $600 each. You can see at the top. So you just want to try and keep your budget as far below the max as you can. And there you go.
So you guys should quickly go through
Yeah,
that
so
and
just
decide with your team.
like socialize, don't socialize, just talk about like what you guys are gonna do and stuff.
Yes.
I'll have to-
The kind of rover you build depending on the kind of mission you're going for, depending on like the objective.
The objective is to collect the most science experiments, therefore having the longest lasting rover you possibly can for the least amount of money.
Making a solid brick.
Yes, you save money.
Get very far.
You should give them like
The time limit?
yes, we started like
Well, it's now 10:40.
you have 5. You guys have like 5 minutes to do that, and then we'll talk about what you found, and then
Yes,
we'll
just-
continue on with our presentation.
I see why you guys did this now.
Yes.
I did not receive the packet.
Well, can you share with somebody because we are running very.
Yeah, isn't there's,
Yeah, guys, if you don't have a group, get with a group that has a packet,
Yeah.
and you have 5 minutes to
share,
get it
share.
done.
Join like the nearest group.
So as soon as you guys find your answers, just kind of.
By the way, this thing was gonna be a lot more in depth, like a lot more. It would have taken way.
You should have made a theme song.
No, it's still really good. It was just gonna be.
No, I wouldn't. I would have
And which thing? You start out with these. One of these for next.
So it's like one one's head.
So, if you guys are done,
Where did you not learn it yet?
okay,
Right after you said it.
how you guys doing?
This year?
Apparently done.
Yeah. Not joking, probably like good for you guys.